What's up, guys? It's Randa, and today we are talking about the Masters of the Universe Revelation teaser trailer. So, originally today, I was just going to talk about the Masters of the Universe teaser trailer that dropped a few days ago, and then, literally, right as I sat down to film this, Netflix dropped a closer look video with Kevin Smith sitting down to talk to us a little bit more in depth about it. So, with that in mind, we have a little bit more information about the series going forward. Just as a very broad overview, the new series is called Masters of the Universe Revelation, and Part 1 is dropping on Netflix on July 23rd, and now we might have a little more information about what that titular revelation actually is. I'll be the first to admit, I was a passing fan of He-Man as a kid. I'm old, but I still wasn't old enough to be watching the cartoon during its original run in the 80s. So my introduction was really through watching reruns when I had the chance and playing with the action figures that my older cousins had growing up. With that being said, I am someone who absolutely loved the She-Ra reboot, as evidenced by the fact that I do not have a He-Man shirt, so I'm wearing my very dorky She-Ra shirt. But anyway. With all that being said, I loved She-Ra, so if this series can bring something as fun and fresh and imaginative to the table as that reboot did, then I'm already excited to sit down and watch it. One thing I love about those old cartoons of the 80s is the colorful, campy vibe that so many of them had. My friends and I have actually talked about this quite a bit in general, but we really wish that certain media would embrace that campy, kishy vibe more, rather than every reboot or continuation or reimagining having to be this dark, gritty, hyper-realistic take on things, especially when it's things that relate to our childhood nostalgia. This past year, more than ever, I think a lot of us have been revisiting media of our youth and finding a lot of comfort and solace in those familiar shows and movies and the brighter, more hopeful atmosphere that a lot of them had. While I don't expect Masters of the Universe Revelation to be that exactly, since Kevin Smith himself said that it starts with a brighter tone and then shifts partway through the first episode, I'm still hopeful that there's some element of that throughout it. The official plot synopsis for the show itself actually reads, after a cataclysmic battle between He-Man and Skeletor, Eternia is fractured and the Guardians of Grayskull are scattered. And after decades of secrets tore them apart, it's up to Teela to reunite the broken band of heroes and solve the mystery of the missing Sword of Power in a race against time to restore Eternia and prevent the end of the universe. With that being said, Smith has said that Masters of the Universe Revelation will be in essence a spiritual predecessor to the original He-Man show, with the beginning of Part 1 picking up right where the old show left off and reintroducing us to the world of Eternia as it is now. So unlike She-Ra, this is not a reboot. It's a continuation, and it's going to give us a chance to see where the characters are now and how we can dig into the lore and the world even more. He shared with us that the revelation of the title actually relates to Teela and something that she discovers about herself early on in the story, and the journey she will go on to make sense of that new knowledge. He went on to say that it was something that was hinted at in the old show, so they used that as a jumping off point to build out the story of the show from there, so I'm very curious to see how that will be utilized. He-Man has obviously always been the vocal point of the show and the merchandise and all of that, so it's very possible that Teela will be more of a kind of the audience insert for the show, in which we kind of learn and grow through her eyes in her discoveries. It does seem that a big part of this will stem from Adam's secret identity as He-Man and Teela's lack of knowledge about that secret, and Kevin Smith himself said that secrets can be very damaging, so I'm very curious to see how these discoveries will have wider-reaching implications for all of Eternia. Like I said, I'm not an avid enough watcher of He-Man from my childhood to really speculate on what direction they might take with this. There are so many people out there who are better equipped to analyze the tidbits that we've been given so far, so personally, I'm just going to sit back and be quietly optimistic and excited and see how all of it plays out when Part 1 drops in July. I will say one of the highlights for me so far is the animation. It has enough loyalty to the original animation, which Kevin Smith said they purposely did, while obviously looking miles and miles better than what they were capable of producing back then. What we've seen of the animation looks fresh and incredible, and I'm really hoping for some especially cool fight scenes once we get into it. I'm also really looking forward to seeing what they do with the music and the sound design for it. Obviously, we got Bonnie Tyler's Holding Out for a Hero in the trailer, which honestly almost took me out. But I'm super excited to see what they do for the actual soundtrack and score for the show. This cast is also stacked with talent. I didn't watch Supergirl, but I'm aware of Chris Wood, who is voicing Adam and He-Man from that. But beyond that, you have Kevin Conroy, you have Sarah Michelle Gellar, you have Lena Headey, you have Phil LaMarr, you have Stephen Root, just to name a few. Honestly, if you have not taken a look at this cast list yet, I would encourage you to do so. But I would be remiss, most of all, if I did not mention him, because I don't think I could possibly be more excited than to hear Mark Hamill as Skeletor. Beyond his obvious fame through the Star Wars franchise, Mark Hamill has undeniably voiced some of the most iconic performances in animation and video games ever. I can't even begin to count how many childhood memories he was an integral part of, and I'm continuing right up to this day. So yeah, those are just a few of my thoughts about the teaser trailer. It was super great to get to watch the teaser, and even better to hear a few thoughts from Kevin Smith himself, since he is serving as showrunner and executive producer, especially with his comic book and nerd pedigree. And with any luck, by the power of Grayskull, this show will have the power. Oh, I hate myself. That's going to do it for us today, guys. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Drop a comment below with your thoughts about the teaser trailer or what Kevin Smith had to say, or just about Masters of the Universe Revelation in general. You know, what do you think about it? Are you excited? If you enjoy my content, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell button so you know anytime I upload something. And other than that, I'm Randa. This has been the Southern Fried Nerd, and until next time, have a great day. See ya!